Hi, my name is Ryan Rosche. I'm with BRR Architecture in Kansas City, in a suburb of Kansas City, Missouri. I am in charge of handling the Revit and BIM implementation for our company and for the clients that we work with. So I spend a lot of my time training, supporting, looking for new and innovative technologies and things that may be out there or maybe coming down the pipe, things that we think we can use for our clients to make their process better in terms of how they use their buildings, in terms of the energy that they might be using, or the technology of the building, or how we might just be able to interact with them, coordinate the process of the design with them, and enable them to use their building models potentially down the future for a life cycle use and things like that. I originally got there growing up. My mom was actually an interior designer, and she had a subscription to Architectural Digest that she spent a lot of time letting me look through. And spending time looking at the architecture, I think, was what kind of got me interested in it. I had a drafting program in high school that I think was a little bit more advanced than most. We had, I basically had 3 years of AutoCAD and then a year of kind of a self-guided study with 3D Studio Max. And the 3D modeling and the technology was something that I was really interested in. And I actually had a hockey coach growing up who was a partner for LRB Beckett in Kansas City. And he's now with J.E. Dunn, and he got me an opportunity to have an internship, got me interested in, and got my foot in the door really, and that's how I got to go to design school. I went to Kansas State, and really that's where it all started, was with my mom and with my hockey coach. For me, I'm able to kind of think freely and be able to innovate, being able to not necessarily have a list of tasks that I need to get done, but with my role, I'm able to kind of go out there and see what might be available for us to implement, as long as it makes business sense and practical sense for us to use for our users and for our clients. Is really the technical side of things, and the innovation is really interesting for me. The first letter of BIM is B is for building, and then I is for information, and the M is for modeling. And the two key parts of that is the information, which is the data, the information that we're going to build into the model so that you can get analysis from it from an energy standpoint, or so the owner may get some information for cost estimating. And then, of course, the modeling is key too. So we're actually building our buildings 3D virtually before they're constructed into the field, so we can reconcile problems we have with plumbing or structural members, so that they're interacting cleanly and they're not having those types of collisions. So really, it's about coordinating a better set of documents for us so that we have a better product that's built out in the field for our clients. Our first Revit project was really just about, can we get Revit to work for construction documents? And at the time, it was still relatively new. It was a retail center that we had done in a suburb of Kansas City, and nobody really knew that much about it. We tried to get the contractors on board, but they didn't really know much about it. And I think for me, being a younger intern at the time, the biggest part for me was to be able to build something virtually in 3D, and then be able to see that being built just in the next neighborhood over. So I think for all young architects and for young aspiring architects, that first real project that you see come up out of the ground, and then you can really compare it with that model that you built, I think was one of the most interesting things that I've done so far in my career. The goal would be, I think, to get people involved in the built environment, and not just go and see buildings, but really see how they interact with the human environment, really. Architecture and engineering, construction in general, is probably one of the biggest impacts on just the human ecology and the human environment that there is. So there's really an opportunity to have one of the biggest impacts you can in this community and in this world that we live in, to be an architect and to kind of put your thumbprint on a piece of that. The other thing I would say is to really find somebody who if you're interested in architecture at all, find somebody who's an architect or an engineer or somebody who works in the designed environment, and make them take you out to lunch. You know, make them go buy you a soda or something like that, so you can really, you know, bend their ear, learn what they've have to say, and really make them take an interest in you, no matter what it takes. I'd say that was the biggest thing for me, is having a mentor, or several mentors really, that you can really learn from.